Let's go ahead and get into our next award. This award is for the Justice League Award, and this award is a group award. The best 8 players. If we were just to line people up and say, I got this guy, I got this guy, I got this guy, this is definitely who you want on your team if you were playing a pickup game. First off, and we try to make it fair, so you want to pick at least one player from each team. But starting off with the Raiders, number 10. You guys talk about number 10 because you guys had a lot to say about him before we actually picked this guy.
I mean, I don't know his name, but he was definitely one of the few bright spots for the Raiders. And shout out to the Raiders again for playing practically throughout the whole season. You guys were outnumbered, outmatched most of the time, but you guys showed a ton of heart. And number 10 stood out every game that I saw him play. I didn't see every single game. There was a couple of games I missed, but every time that I did see the Raiders play and I saw him play, he stood out. He was the one making plays a lot. He was one of the guys that kept him in the games, one of their most dynamic players. So I definitely feel like on their team, if I had to pick a player from their team, it would definitely be him, for just off of his athleticism.
Let's get into our next player from the Horns. This guy, I know Sheridan had a lot of things to say about him. Definitely was a bright spot. He's a rookie this year, and he did his thing. I know I mentored him throughout the season and tried to help him along and become a better player throughout the season. But number 25 from the Horns, Mr. Jordan. Talk about him.
I thought, he came out, and when everybody saw him, they said, "Damn, that's a big boy." And he ran the ball a lot. I like the way he run. I like the style. As the season progressed, it's really tough to shine when your team's not shining too much. But I felt if you're gonna pick one guy off the Horns, I would have taken him. There were some other guys in the Horns I thought, but he played every game for the Horns. He played his heart out, and he's a big physical guy. I was looking at him going, man, I'm gonna have to cut this dude's feet out. I wouldn't be like Tay and Whiff, but I'll cut his feet out. I won't be like Marcel and refuse to play, but I'm taking his legs out if I gotta go against him.
I think we need to find another co-host to replace
him. He's taking shots at both.
The next player that we're picking from the Bucks is number 8, Mr. Furlow. I know I had a chance to practice with this guy a few times and see him up close and personal, and he's a big, solid dude. Very physical back, and he's a downhill runner. So, if you get in his way, he's definitely going to try to run you over, and he has the capability to do that. So shout out to Furlow from the Bucks. Also, he was one of the players that he wasn't going to talk too much. I know a lot of the Bucks, they talked a lot this year, and he was one of the few players that didn't talk. Maybe he talked a little bit, but it wasn't as much, and he was able to play his game and stay on his game consistently throughout the season. So, next player from the Avengers. This guy was a shifty guy, tough guy to cover. Definitely a utility back in every which way. Number 10 from the Avengers.
My boy Mike Soriano. I know this dude way back.
From the Avengers.
Oh, we talking? Oh, my bad.
You jumped ahead already.
I seen number 10. I seen his name on it, man. My bad. I thought you had him. I don't even know this dude too much. Go ahead, because I didn't really see him play too much. The Avengers.
I watched number 10 from the Avengers make some big plays on some pretty good teams, and I watched him, a couple of games where he broke off 8 people and then came back, broke off 2 more, and took them for touchdowns. A couple of games he would have put to bed for the Avengers if they wouldn't have had goofballs on the team blocking dudes that didn't need to be blocked. He had speed. He played where they needed him to play. I thought the dude was pretty good. He's quick. He's got just enough strength, just enough to give you a move, and getting an arm on him wasn't going to bring him down. And it's hard to get more than an arm on him because he was so shifty. He reminds me of L before L hit the gym, really hit the gym when L used to be almost impossible to touch back in the day. This is what that guy reminded me of. And he had to do it with a little bit less space than L again because it's 8 on 8 instead of 6 on 6. And I saw him make some plays that I was impressed with.
Our next player for this Justice League Award is the player you just brung up and just told everybody, you know.
Excuse me, because you know you.
That's okay.
You should be reading the cost.
That's okay.
Right down the
Nobody told you to look on my paper anyway. You should be having your own paper writing this stuff down. Anyways, let's.
It's the red
I
cup.
believe it, sir.
It's the red cup.
Please talk about
solo cup.
Yeah.
Mr. Mike Sodiano. Go ahead. Talk about him.
Way back from elementary. Way back. We go way back.
Like 4 class on the Cadillac?
4 class on the Cadillac.
All right.
Shout out to Forbes Elementary.
Can I give him a shout out? Because I coach at Highlands. I didn't coach while he was there, but he went to Highlands, so I'll give an extra shout out.
I can't give a shout out to that because we were boys until we got to high school because I went to Brack. So all my boys from the neighborhood, we definitely, you know,
He was on the freshman team.
Brack range, I
He
definitely
was baby all day.
Yeah.
All
Anyway,
day.
Mike, he was definitely like their defensive like heart. Like he's been decent from the years that I've been around the league. But this year he seemed improved to me this year. Like he was like the heart and soul, in my opinion, of their defense. He was flying around the ball. I don't know if he wasn't as healthy last year, but he seemed to be flying around the ball a whole lot more this year. But like he was making plays. We heard him laying the boom on somebody or saw him picking up a fumble or doing something. He was around the ball constantly all season.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think, and especially you know their offense gets so L gets so much attention. You know Rick was as far as the heart. Like we kind of overlooked their defense, and the defense is really what got them to this point pretty much. So I feel like we had to show love in that aspect, and Mike definitely on their defense. I think he deserved it.
He had the pick 6 that sealed the game on Sunday.
I think the game was sealed before that pick. So I'm just saying, we're only getting that.
That pretty much, yeah, but that pretty much.
True. All right. Let's get into our next player from the Tigers. This guy, I know he's been in the running for many awards, numerous awards throughout the last few years. I know Sheridan, you know this guy pretty well. Mr. Robert Bailey of the Tigers. Go ahead and talk about Robert for a little bit.
Robert Bailey, man, he's just got all kinds of talent. He's a guy that can shut you down on the edge as a corner. He's not as physical for a guy of his size, but he'll make every tackle that comes his way. And he's a game breaker. He's a playmaker on the outside at corner. He gets a pick, he's taking it to the house. He'll force fumbles. He'll fight through and make plays on the screens. He's a Taft Raider. I'm a Taft Raider, so we'll get that out there. I played against Brad one time. We beat 56-7. Just throwing that out there.
You older than me.
Well, I was about to say, wasn't that way back when?
Like 1985.
Yeah, you know, 91,
Yeah.
1990.
I was like, we was in like first grade or something.
Yeah, you know, it's cool. I mean,
It's all right. It's all right. But no, so Robert Bailey, you know, he's been one of the top defensive backs in this league for a while, and I think he's a good player. He goes about 6 feet. He plays out there on the edge of the corner. Out there in this league, there's not many 6-foot corners that can really play. I think Dre's another one, and Robert Bailey. Those are the two guys, and he's got a good sized body, and he makes plays out there for the Tigers.
And since this is an 8-man league, we had to add 2 more players. So these players can come from any team. We had to go with Mr. Joe Gonzalez of the Tigers and Mr. Leonard Walker from the Titans. And so, you know, again, those 2 guys, they've already won a Superman award already. It just goes to show how much they mean to their team. Our last award of the night, this is the Superman award itself. And who other better than Marcel to go ahead and announce who the winner is?
The winner of this award, and we went with this award. I mean, this was another one of those awards that we had a lot of discussion about, but we all ultimately came together and agreed because of all the, you know, the issues in the offseason and all, you know, it was a big issue. Everybody was worried about this. We gave it to Joe Gonzalez, the quarterback of the Tigers. Because at the beginning of the season, when we found out that Jimmy wasn't coming back, we were like, oh, the Tigers are in trouble. Like, he was the heart and soul of their offense. I'm the first one to say, granted, I still picked him because of the rest of their talent, but I for sure didn't feel like they were going to go undefeated.
I didn't.
For sure. I knew they had enough talent to win it all, but I really didn't think they were going to go undefeated. But Joe came in and stepped up at one of the most important positions, probably the most important position
By far.
in the league. First year, I don't know if he's had any previous experience, but granted, you know, the coaching had a lot to do with it. Shout out to Greg and Mark and AC and all them guys, you know, for coaching this dude, but they put him in a system to make him productive and help him succeed. but he still had to run it, and he did exactly what he had to do to put him back where they're at now, and they're undefeated again and back in the ship. So
it says a lot.
It definitely says a lot. It definitely does.
So, congratulations, Joe, for winning this year's 2013 Superman Award MVP winner. So, congratulations to all the winners this year, and definitely hope that you appreciate it and understand what it means to be one of the best players in this league. It's a lot of responsibility that comes along with it. So, again, congratulations to everybody. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be back here in just a moment.